Hey everyone, welcome to Better Gaming. Today I've got big news of the Nintendo Switch 2 hacking scene. We're talking a 7-year-old exploit finally revealed, the return of a notorious Switch hacker and secret hacking developments for the Switch 2. It might seem quite lately, but trust me, there's a ton going on behind the scenes. Let's dive right in. In 2018, a security researcher named Kinney found a critical vulnerability in Nintendo's online matchmaking code. That's the system used by the 3DS, Wii U and Switch to connect players online. The issue was a stack overflow in the way how the console processed IP addresses. Basically, the system didn't properly check the data it received, which allowed hackers to overflow the memory, a classic trick that can crash the system or even let someone inject their own code into your game remotely. On the 3DS and Switch, this would have been harder to pull off because of protections like ASLR. That's a memory randomization technique meant to block these kinds of attacks. But on the Wii U, it didn't have that at all, which means a skilled attacker could have used this to launch a full rob chain and take over your system online. No local access needed. What could have actually happened if this exploit was discovered by the wrong people? A bad actor could have used it to crash players' games remotely during online matches, send malicious data to take control of your console, install unauthorized code without your knowledge. It would have been a massive security nightmare, especially since it affected all three consoles at once. Nintendo quietly fixed the issue back in the day by validating IP addresses properly on the server side. But here's the wild part. They kept the whole thing secret for 7 years. The public only found out now, when the vulnerability was finally disclosed on HackerOne. If you aren't familiar with HackerOne, it's a platform where ethical hackers and security researchers report bugs and vulnerabilities directly to companies. Think of it like a bug bounty hub. When someone finds a serious flaw in a product, they can report it there and sometimes even get paid if it's a valid security issue. Normally the bounty would stay here, but they hide it. Out of curiosity, what do you think how much Nintendo paid this hacker for finding this vulnerability, given the information that it could have led to a disaster? So yeah, Nintendo is one of those companies that uses HackerOne. And that's how this old matchmaking exploit was originally reported way back in 2018. Honestly, the silence might have saved them. If this bug had leaked before it was patched, it could have wrecked Nintendo's online services once and for all, and opened the door for some serious console-level exploits. Next, remember Gary Bowser, the guy from Team Xecuter? The guy behind the infamous ASICS who actually went to jail for selling Switch hacks and got slapped with a 10 million fine by Nintendo? Well, he's technically out now, released from US prison in 2023 after serving about 14 months. But still owes Nintendo millions. So far, he reportedly paid back $175 out of 10 million. Which is... yeah. Now here's where things got confusing. A Reddit post recently showed up on a Switch 2 hacking forum. Someone's sharing a photo and offering to help the scene again. People online immediately assumed it was Bowser trying to make a comeback, because you can clearly see a photograph of him being inside a garden. But let's clear that up, it is not him. It's just another dude probably trolling or looking to contribute. Literally, just Google Gary Bowser and you will find the exact same photograph on Google. Like, literally it's on top. Still, the whole thing sparked debate. Some in the community got excited, others joked about Nintendo kicking down his door again. Either way, Bowser himself seems to be staying out in the hacking spotlight for now. Finally, the hacking community is hard at work behind closed doors. We've heard whispers that some exploits are already being researched on early hardware. For example, Dr. Soaps mentioned they found a buffer overflow in the Switch 2's eShop app. It's limited by Nintendo security, they can't dump memory or get full control due to sandbox restrictions, but it's proof that something is exploitable. Given that this isn't actually a verified message and could be just a troll message, there's definitely a very high chance that this is actually valid and true. And as we already saw after 24 hours, we got the proof that something is exploitable. Every little crack counts, right? He also noted that hardware exploits might be near impossible on the new Switch, because Nvidia has apparently blown eFuses to lock out debug modes at the factory. In plain English, unlike the original Switch, which had the convenience RCM bug, the Switch 2 likely won't be cracked with a simple hardware trick. Hackers will need to find software vulnerabilities to make any headway. But that's just the view of one hacker. We have also many other hackers who are working right now on hardware-related exploits. So to sum it up, the Nintendo Switch 2 hacking scene is alive and kicking, even if things look quiet. An older exploit came to light, a famous hacker reemerged, and new vulnerabilities vulnerabilities are being quietly explored for Switch 2. It's an exciting time for modders and enthusiasts. Now, what do you think about all this? Do you think the Switch 2 will get hacked, or did Nintendo lock it down for good? Share your thoughts in the comments, I would love to hear them. If you enjoyed this update and want to see more about the Switch hacking and modding, then hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. My name is Yu, don't forget to smile, peace!